Hello, I am Gepwin and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Career Mode. I just got a Fuel Crisis episode out and I'm going to be working more on that, but I wanted to get back to Career Mode because we now have... Where are we? Yes, we have the Mooncraft on the moon. And ideally I'd like to get it from the moon back to the Kerbin. I mean, landing on the moon was great. And I think it's very impressive, and I'm glad we were able to do it, but I'd also kind of like to be able to get back down. So I do want to continue in a... Which way is this thing spinning? Come on. Alright, I want to go out this direction so that we can burn... Just continue burning away and hopefully just get an encounter with Kerbal without having to circularize around the moon again. Which will be my plan. Oh, that is north. We need to... Then which way is north? Anyway, we need to go that way. So that's north. Let's make sure that our fuel is actually kind of balanced here. Yeah, pretty balanced. Could maybe stand to move a little bit more out of that tank. Nope. Which tank is most full? This one. We need to take a little bit more out of that tank into the main tank here. There. Just have to avoid transferring fuel again and again and again. Something that I'd like to avoid. We're going to turn that on. We're going to check our electrical charge. We're pretty good. And we got about half our fuel left. Alright, time to take to the skies. Let's get off this planet. Oop, this thing is... I'm looking at it backward. I want to turn that way. Which should be taking us the wrong direction. Of course it is. Oh well. We haven't gone that far, we can just go the other direction. There we go. As long as we're still going up, that's the important thing. There we go. I just want to make sure our apoapsis doesn't get too high. Don't want a ridiculously high apoapsis here. Okay, 12. If it starts going above 20, I might just stop and then start looking for an encounter. 19, 20, I don't know, let's let it keep going. Let's even out a little bit. Did I run out of fuel? Oh, seriously? I thought I would be good. Alright, we need to be careful. Let's transfer the last of our fuel in. I thought that I would have plenty, dang. That's disappointing and a little worrying, actually. What? No, come on. That one. Wait, where did I transfer my fuel? Ah, dang it. Oh well, I've got plenty of time before we hit our apoapsis here. We want to continue burning that way until we get an encounter, and then bring this periapsis down to... That should get me an aero brake. 40-second burn though. Are we going to have trouble getting this? We'll see. We'll have to see. Wait, where is my fuel? Come on. I really needed to be able to just do a 40-second burn. I thought I had plenty. I thought I would have plenty of fuel with this. Don't know what happened. Alright, we got one small tank completely full. Now, starting off with the wrong orbital direction probably didn't help, did it? Alright, back we go. I'm not going to bother taking our landing gear in, because I will want those when we get to Kerbal. And there we go. So need to constantly correct a little bit because we are off balance with that extra fuel. Come on, keep going. So far our fuel reserves look pretty good. Alright, we haven't even used half of our fuel. Now we're in orbit. Come on, keep going. Alright, about to break there, and correct a little bit more. 4, 3, and to get into the atmosphere so that I can air brake. Come on. 90, 80, 70, 30. I used the air brake calculator, but I haven't used it before, so I think I did it wrong. But it recommended a periapsis of somewhere around 30-ish for the air brake. But again, I think I probably used it wrong. So I'm hoping to be able to do an air brake and then do a really quick circularization and be able to pick my landing site instead of having to just come down wherever. But if we do have to come down wherever, I hope it's somewhere nice. Alright, we're going to quick save. And let's do some time acceleration. We need to get we need to get out of the moon sphere of influence so that we can see where our actual Kerbal periaps is. Because we might have to fix it a little bit. Alright. Alright, 31. Still pretty good. How's our electric? Electric is pretty good. We're going to turn off our SAS though. Said turn off our SAS so that it does not take too much. And let's warp down. Nothing much else to do, but see if that air braking maneuver works. Here we come, Kerbal. Wait, did I stop too soon? Or did it stop it for me? Alright, we've dropped down, so we're going to be inside the atmosphere. If this doesn't work, we're going to be landing on the frickin' dark side of the planet again, which I apologize for. It's my fault. Down, 2, 1, and... Alright, let's see how this air brake goes. We're almost to our periaps. Our apoaps should be going down pretty well. Okay, we went too low. And we're going to be landing. And we're going to be landing on the night side of the planet. So I can't see what's going on. Oh, I do apologize for that. That was a blunder. Oh well, are we going to be landing in that little area next to the desert again? Probably, huh? Probably. Looks like we're going to land in ocean. 6. We're over water. I want to do sort of a slow burn when we get down. I want to make sure we hit at less than that. I'm really not sure what the speed for water is. I've got so many freaking parachutes in this thing. You think that would help, huh? Come on. Alright, nice touchdown. We actually didn't break anything, we still got science. So, it would help if I turned off that rocket, huh? We didn't break stuff, we still got science. And we got back from the moon. Let's recover. Okay, is that, I don't know, is that good? If it gets into the blue line there? I'm not sure. I would imagine. Anyway, we got 300 science. which is nice. We recovered a lot of parts. We got back quite a few funds. And we rescued Jebediah, and we should have finished. Contract complete, explore the moon. Contract complete, explore the moon, 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 blah, 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 blah. Got to the moon. Good. Good, 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 good. Got to the moon. Research and development. R&D. Where do I get fuel lines from? I can't remember what tier I get fuel lines from. Oh, I want this because struts. This gets me fuel lines. I need to grab some more of these. I need to grab this entire tier. Then, do I have enough for fuel lines? I do. Thank you. Thank you, O merciful fuel line god. And solar panels. Fuel lines and solar panels. That is exactly what I needed. Yes, yes it is. Exactly. Oh, and then I can get larger rocket parts. And better decouplers. And better control surfaces. The ladders are secondary. I do want a lab. I want to put a lab in orbit as soon as I can. Start working on a base. But I can't work on a base till I get specialized construction and get docking ports. Clampetrons. So I need quite a bit to get docking ports. We might have to send a Minimus mission up before we can get our docking ports. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Though we could use a couple of people who aren't our main three. I wanted the R&D lab. Yeah. Explore Minimus expires never, so let's take it. Explore Ike, explore Duna. Not gonna be there for a little while. Test Sepratron. Test Sepratron 1 in flight over Kerbal. Some pretty... Alright, it's not too bad. We can take that. Launch stability enhancer. What's this one? Test launch stability enhancer landed at Kerbal. That I can do. Transmit a recovered Neva from space around Kerbal, which I can do next flight. Yeah. But this is the kind of stuff that I want to have a space station for, because I could just jump up and do that. Small gear in flight over Kerbal. I don't want to take too much, because we know what happened last time that happened. Radial mount liquid engine orbiting Kerbal. Might do that in a minute. First I want to try to get rid of a couple of these, the parachute and the liquid fuel engine and the Sepratron. And this launch stability enhancer. So let's close and let's make a small ship that can hopefully do some of that. So I had to skip over some of the shipbuilding because I was just getting so frustrated with it. It should not be harder to test engines than it is to get to Minimus, but for some reason, for me, it seems to be. And I think one of the big problems, the last flight that made me angry, so angry I had to actually take a break from recording and leave it for a day, that I was trying to activate these using action groups, and I got up to the proper speed and altitude and everything and activated these with the action group, and it didn't count. So as far as I can tell, action groups don't count for testing. So instead of action groups, I'm going to have to just use staging. So I've got my Sepratrons on the next stage after these engines, and then my small engines after the Sepratrons. And we're just gonna have to keep an eye on things and make sure that it works okay after that. So let's launch and give this thing a try. I skipped a lot because I don't think you guys want to watch me rage at this thing. Yeah, we were too fast for the Sepratrons. Good freaking Okay, launch 2 to try to test the frickin' engines. Because they need a ridiculous amount of speed at a ridiculously low altitude. Let's accelerate up very slowly. Much, much more slowly. Come on. I want to be going around normal velocity here. Oh well, at least we do get to test the launch stabilizers. But I need to start turning over soon. Why are we turning over now? I don't want to turn over now. With any amount of actual luck, I will get this stupid thing to work this time. I just need to conserve as much fuel as possible, and I need to turn over really early so that I can get up to speed in this super ridiculously narrow altitude range. Yeah, in this game, I have landed and returned from the moon, and I can't get any of these to work. Which, yes, I'm not super good at the game, but it seems like landing on the moon should maybe be more difficult than some of these stupid in-atmosphere tests. I just need to try to level off so that my apoaps isn't too high when I get up to speed. Because we're going to be up to testing range very shortly. Now we're at the right altitude, I just need to get my speed into the 400s where it needs to be. And now we're too high. Where is my apoaps at the moment? Apoaps is still too high. We'll come back down. Alright, go straight sideways. This should be pushing me down. It is ridiculous that I have to burn toward the ground to get this to work. I find that ridiculous. 4, 3, come on. If I start going too fast, I'm going to kill something. There, test the frickin' engines. Good, now let's see if we can get going back up. I somehow doubt we'll be able to get up to parachute, or I don't think we're going to be able to get up to parachute or not fuel booster, Sepratron. I don't know if we're going to be able to get up to Sepratron altitude in this thing. Maybe. I'm getting up to 17, 18, it's 19. If I can get my apoapsis up high enough. Let's kill our engines and see if we can maintain speed. If I can even get my speed up a teeny bit at this point, and we're high enough in the atmosphere, I might be able to. Come on. Oh, come on. We didn't hit the right altitude, and now we're going to run out of fuel. Oh well. Where's my parachutes? Yeah, we're falling too slowly for the parachutes as well, aren't we? Yep. Oh no, we're at the right speed for the... We're at the right speed for the parachutes, but not the right altitude, because the parachutes need to be up around the same altitude as the Sepratrons. I got 2. I'm not taking any more of these stupid in-atmosphere things. If it's on the launch pad, I'll take it. If it's one of these stupid between whatever and whatever altitude, they can forget it. It is easier for me to do the Minimus contract than it is to test a frickin' Sepratron. This does not seem right to me. Seems like something that should possibly be addressed. In any event, we're going to come down. We're going to lose part of our rocket because we're landing over water. So we got really far away. Hugely far away from where we were. Where are we? We are way out in the middle of the ocean. Oh, well, we're going to do this, then we're going to modify our mooncraft so that it can get to Minimus easily. Shouldn't be too difficult because we got all the parts we should need now. If you can get to the moon, you can get to Minimus. It's not that difficult. And brake. Really? It didn't break? Huh. That's interesting. Now if we can get it to flip over. Flip over, you stupid thing. There. Flip over, EVA. I don't think we've taken a EVA report from here, so we'll grab that, and then we'll get a sample of the water. Take surface sample. Keep that, and it's only like 3 science, but oh what? Store experiments. Stop bouncing and store experiments. Store experiments. Recover. We recover our little dude. Yep. We have recovered Jebediah and gotten a little bit of reputation back. And now we'll go to the tracking station and we'll recover everything else. Test craft. Recover test craft. Recover. Yep. Done. And any debris. Anyway, we're going to modify our old design. Load our mooncraft, which worked perfectly well. One modification I do want to make to this, and if we ever do want to take it back to the moon, is to add these fuel lines so I don't have to refuel manually anymore. Or I could just, break. The landing craft should be fine, especially for Minimus. So that we want solar panels. Launch stability enhancers. Launch stability enhancers are nice. This is the Mincraft, because it's going to Minimus. Alright, and this is should be going toward the sun there. Should be okay. And liftoff. Turn on my SAS. As soon as we get up to 100 and so, I want to turn down my engines. Solid fuel does seem to be exhausting fastest. That is good. Okay, solid fuel is still exhausting fastest. Turn down the engines a little bit, so we're still getting acceleration but not using up too much fuel. Alright, solid fuel definitely first, and that's how we've got it set up. So that will work. And solid fuel's almost gone, so throttle up. Solid fuel goes and destroys all of my engines. We need to start burning approximately 10 seconds before we get there. Maybe lead it a little more because I know we're going to have to switch to a single engine. Though I'm not sure how much that's going to change our... I'm not sure how much that's going to change anything. Alright. Single engine. The estimated burn is now 30. Should have started a real test to see if we have enough fuel to get to Minimus. We're going to see how long the burn's going to take, and also where we should begin our maneuvers. So difficult to actually see where everything matches up here. Add maneuver here, going down, and time for our 9-second burn. 2. There's those space whales. Good old KSP space whales. Come on, come on. Well, I don't know if our inclination's exactly right anyway, so that's probably good. I gotta see what kind of burn time we need to get to Minimus. Minimus is over there. Should probably burn somewhere around here. Oops, it's way too far. It's outside of Kerbin. If we can burn for a full minute, we leave Kerbin. Let's bring it down slightly, because I don't want to use up too much. Really don't want to use up too much fuel. I want to catch it going that way. Having a free return. Let's do that, because then we get a free return, just in case. Always nice to have free return. We got a huge periapse, though. 6,000 meters. We can fix that later. I'm sure we've got a minute left in these engines. We're gonna run out of fuel. But we should have more than enough fuel in the lander. I don't want to have to start using my lander fuel yet. But this is a much more efficient engine with a very, very small craft, so we'll have to see. Full minute of burning. But we haven't even dipped down in our fuel quite yet. It did bring a lot. The actual landing and getting back from Minimus should not take much fuel at all. Worst case scenario, we have to send out someone to rescue Rodrid. The heck is Rodrid? That is a weird name. They all have weird names. Alright, worst case scenario, we're gonna have to send out someone to rescue Rodrid. Rodrid Kerman. He's either going to die on this mission or he's going to become like the mascot of this series. It's one or the other at this point. Need to see how much of a hero he winds up being. Let's make sure that our calculation is actually functioning here. Seems like we're getting pretty close. Alright. Good. Oop. Come on. Why do I have to chase the stupid... Actually, why do I have to chase the stupid thing? If I keep burning prograde, we will get there. There we go. Minimus. Periaps is 200. Is this going up or down if I burn? Oh. Hope it went down, because that was... Yeah, it did go down. Wow, that changed so fast. 19 isn't bad. Alright, we have an encounter with Minimus. We have... How much fuel? That didn't even use up half our fuel. We are really good. Let's lower the landing gear to make sure we don't forget later, because we don't need to worry about drag or anything. We're in space. And we're going to point retrograde, because that gets our solar panels more into the sun. Solar panels are getting sunlight. We're not using up anything. We've got plenty of fuel. Alright, Rodrid Kerman looks like he's well on his way. Next episode we will actually land on Minimus, collect our science, and then come back. If you liked, then please leave a like. If you really did, you can subscribe. I do Kerbal Space Program stuff all the time, as well as some other things. But you can see what you like by browsing around the channel. I am Gepwin. I really hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I will see you soon.